Yo, guys, what is happening? We are going to go through when diets fail and why you cannot lose weight no matter what you are doing. Very interesting topic and one that will hit home no matter what spectrum you are on, whether you're just trying to lose weight and you're 22 or whether you're someone who feels like it's going to be perimenopause, menopause issues. Weight loss is very easy to explain and it's very easy to explain with data. And this is a generalized video. It's going to take like fucking a few minutes and you're going to learn so much about what you need to change, how you need to change it, and where to look to change it. So let's go through this. Good if I clicked my slide. The first thing you need to understand is diets aren't magic. Diets basically work on the premise that we have something called total daily energy expenditure, and then we have food, right? So your diet is the food that goes in here. And then we look at the differential between food that comes in and what goes out with expenditure. So if you think about it, money, what you're spending and what you're earning. Okay. So I'm going to explain this really quickly. So the very, very bottom of this, 70% is BMR. If you've heard about this, I'll do it very quickly and I'm not going to go deep into this. Basically, what you burn just to have your body going in a coma, just pure rest. So the minimum amount, 70% of your calories are burnt no matter what you do. So you don't have to go off, you're not broken. 70% of your calories are just burning. The next thing is 15%, right? Which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is everything you do. Walking, cleaning, dancing, fucking, whatever you want to do. It's just movement in general. All this that I'm doing right here, non-activity thermogenesis, me moving around, clicking fucking mice, everything, movement. Okay. The next thing is thermic effect of food, digestion, which is why macronutrients are quite positive in terms of this. So why we focus on protein a lot more because there's a higher thermic effect of food. Hopefully we can't hear the mad police siren that's just going outside my window. And then the last one, which is the one that most people really harp on about, I can't lose weight and I'm training my ass off. Well, if you train your ass off and exercise activity hit 25%, you can see what level of intensity you're putting into something that's giving you such little return for weight loss. Okay. So it's not that big of a deal. So what is a big deal, right? So if you look at someone like Tanya at the bottom right, someone who had put a lot of focus for training was, and this is the before photo on the left, right? So this one here had a personal trainer and was doing all the training focus and under the diet focus, that was a big issue. Okay, so she was focusing here, not so much on making sure this was taken care of. Well, I'm going to give you a couple of examples of people, okay, and then we're going to fix one of the people's. So you have a woman who's 35 years old. She's 135 pounds, 61 kg. She's 160 centimeters. She's doing 4,000 to 5,000 steps. She trains once a week. BMR is 1,300 calories, which means if we multiply that out by 1.4, which is the estimated total daily expenditure, she's about 17 to 1,800 calories of total daily energy expenditure. Now we go back a bit. This is now her jar or her glass. So this is the glass, right? Anything that's not filled would be filled in with fat loss. Anything that's overfilled that spills over would be fat gain. Okay, so this is basically a jar. So we know that this for her is equal to 1,800 calories. So if she wanted to lose 1 pound a week, she'd have to be at 1,200 calories, which is fucking far too low. Far too low to be sustainable. We don't want to do that. We never want to have anyone even underneath 1,500 calories and avoid it. The lowest I have a client on now is 1,525, and that's because it's a rapid weight loss situation. And please don't try and get yourself down to 11, 12, 13. It's just not worth it, and I'll show you why. Example number two, 45-year-old woman, 68 kg, 106 centimeters, does 5,000 steps, doesn't really train. Doesn't really train. She's burning about 1,730. She has to be on 1,230 calories, right? She's not broken. She's not starving, just low output. Okay. And this is the person we're going to fix. We're going to fix this together. So now you're going to see how we're going to do this. A 55-year-old woman who is 66 kg is 158 centimeters and does 4,000 steps on average. Not really training, right? As a BMR of 1210 and activity level is multiplied by 1.3. So we get about 1,570. So more or less 1,600 calories. Now, we're not going to put her on a fucking 1,000 calories to lose a pound of weight, are we? No, because that's unrealistic, not sustainable, and there's other factors that would cause absolute madness to this. You'd have a lower thermic effect of food, you'd have a low efficiency rate, you'd have a low compliance rate, and people want to live. Look, before I fix this, people are like, Rory, I only lose weight when I'm on 11, 1,200 calories. Yeah, absolutely. You also only save money when you don't spend it. That's not the issue we want to have. What we want to do is be able to spend as much money as possible and earn as much money as possible. What you don't want to do is just earn as little as possible and spend as little as possible. That's not worth living, right? You don't want to spend nothing and earn nothing. You want to spend fucking lots and earn lots. That's the idea. You want to be rich and buy Lamborghinis. You don't want to be poor and be able to just afford a bagel. That's the life we're trying to live. We're trying to be transformative. We're not trying to diet into debt. So how do we fix this? So this is how we're going to fix this together. I'm going to show you an example of this. And this is just generic, very quick. It's not detailed. Our coaching that we do with our whole team. So very lucky we have a team of dietitians, doctors, medical professionals, and me, and then other coaches who are excellent. Far smarter than me. I hire smarter people than me. But we're going to fix this. So I'm going to say that she wants to stay at a minimum level of 1,600 calories a day as her sustainable food level. So that means she has breakfast, lunch, and dinner at a sustainable level and a snack or two. But she still wants to lose a pound of fat. So that requires roughly 3,500 calories of a weekly deficit. Not even roughly. See, a pound of fat is 3,500 to 4,200 calories. It's in that ballpark. So we're going to take the low estimate of 3,500. Okay. So we need to raise output. We don't need to bring her to fucking 1,000 calories to lose weight because she's never going to do it. She might do it temporarily. Oh, I lost 10 kg one time, and it's like, and what are you now? Oh, I'm back being a fat fuck. It's like, it's not going to fucking stay that way. We just, and what's the point of doing something if you're not going to stay there? Because you've seen it, then you lose it. That's more frustrating. I would rather see it, keep it, and love it. All right. So what we need to look at is the key factors. Steps, food leaks, a massive one, which is misappropriated calorie tracking, which is someone who's like, I'm on 1,200 calories and they're actually on 1,700. That happens 8 times out of 10 for people who tell me and come on coaching. Like, I'm not losing weight on 1,100 calories. One, you're not doing that for 42 days in a row. First of all, you're doing it for 4 days and think you're amazing. And then on the weekend, you blow your load. Two, you're leaking calories out your arse. There's like 400 or 500 calories you're not tracking, but you're tracking it, but you're tracking it wrong. Macronutrients, the macro split that will help determine effective food, training, and then time. We need time. If you are disadvantaged with height, age, gender, weight, if you're disadvantaged with those metrics, you're not a 6'4" Viking male who's giant and fucking huge muscles. You're a 5'2" woman who's slightly overweight and is working in an office. You have genetic disadvantages in terms of data. So that's why time matters. If you're a giant 6'4" dude who used to play professional rugby or something like that, you're going to burn more calories. Right. How do we fix this? We increase the output. So we cannot diet to success. Diet's not going to work. The diet that we're going to use is going to keep the fucking thing level. 1,600 is going to keep everything sustainable and level. So we're going to eat to as much as maintenance as possible. And then we're going to outperform the weight loss. So we're going to bring our steps up to 8 to 10,000. That alone will add 250 to 350 calories a day. So we could do that, or we could just take off those calories. And if we take off those calories, you're going to be miserable. So what would you choose? I would choose this. We're going to introduce some structured resistance training that will preserve lean mass and improve nutrition partitioning. Adds roughly about 100 calories on top of that. Now, the thing you want to do is when you're in the deficit and you're trying to move and trying to, you want to look a certain way. So if you're going to look a certain way, you better train to look a certain way. You don't want to be smaller and just like loose. And what's the point of that? So you want to train. The training again, 5%. It's not there to burn calories. It will, but it's there to make you look a certain way. And you can see the transformations that you're looking at here. It's there to make you look a certain way, to make you look more toned. Toned. Lose fat, have more muscle. Right? Low intensity cardio sessions. Just go for 20, 30 minutes if you can. That would be amazing. But even then, see here, we've already added 350. If we can add another 150, we're on 500 calorie deficits. Oh my God, that's amazing. And then deliberate increase of NEAT, maybe standing calls. So if you're at a desk, we can stand up. Maybe we can walk from point to point. Maybe we can move a little bit more. Maybe after every meal, we get up and say, listen, I'm going to eat and I'm going to walk for 5 minutes. We reduce sitting for long periods of time. That accumulatively maybe adds 100 calories a day as well. So now we're on 600 calorie deficit. Wow, amazing. We tighten food accuracy. We get rid of leaks. Oils weighed. Milk in coffees and tea weighed. No untracked bites, licks, or tastes. Again, if this was me and someone's like, Rory, I really want, I need to drink my wine and stuff like that at the weekend. It's like, I would put in a policy across the board for coaching. It's like, absolutely, you can. But can we just for 1 month see what would happen if you don't? Just 1 month. Because you're starting off coaching, right? And you're struggling with weight loss and you're telling me you're miserable. It's like, yeah. I was like, can we just fucking take it out for 1 month? Just 1 month and we'll reintroduce it. And then your weight loss will slow down. And you tell me, like, yeah, I'm happy to lose 3 pounds instead of 6 pounds. I was like, that's cool. If you're happy, you make those decisions. But I'd rather take it out first, right? And then reintroduce it rather than keep it and then have to take it out. I'd like to do that as a behavior, right? Just protects the deficit, but also there's always momentum at the start when people look for change. So if you're coming in like a really excited, boom, take the momentum, take the habits, get a win. Action builds momentum, momentum builds results, results build motivation. So you're looking for action to create everything. Now, if you want to keep it, great, but just try. We'll reintroduce it. So now her effective total daily expenditure moves closer towards 2,150. We increase our food to 1,600. The daily deficit is a minimum of 500 calories. The weekly deficit is 3,500. She now approximately loses £1 a week. No crash dieting, no metabolic panic, just engineered expenditure. Now, how does that look compared to? We have to eat 1,070 calories to get that result. You're now eating 1,600 and you're losing £1. That's a big fucking difference. And you're fitter, you're physically fitter, you feel more energy. It's much, much better. Okay, so this is just a simple way to change. This is why diets don't work. You're not trying to diet down to a position. What you're doing is your diet is a stopgap, which is this is the dietary protocol that's going to stop me gaining any weight, going to give me energy to then outperform and outmetric things. Stop trying to drive your diet down. It's like, oh, Rory, what if I want to lose weight faster? Do I just drop my calories? How about fucking increasing your output? Actually, in fact, I'll give you 300 more calories. Go do more stuff because there's better effects from that. And I'll show you why. Just one thing. And this is such a short YouTube video, right? Unseen outcomes from more food, more movement. I want you to move more. I don't want you to diet more. I want you to move more. So you have thermic effective food, which is TEF. Again, if you go back to the start, we showed you TEF is even more effective sometimes than exercise activity thermogenesis. But if you have someone who's having 2,000 calories, right, their thermic effective food might be somewhere between 200 and 250, depending on macronutrient split. There's a higher macronutrient and thermic effective food for protein than there would be for anything else. Versus, let's say, someone's on 1,500 calories. Okay, they have 120 to 180. So just by eating more, they burn an extra 100 calories. So let's say the 1,500 calorie person versus the 2,000 calorie person. Let's just call it 100 calories roughly, right? If they're on a 500 calorie deficit, right, and we're outputting now the differential, that's a 1/5 extra. That's 20% faster. So what does that look like? In a year, it's like 2 months extra. It's 2 months faster to get a result in a year than it would be the other way. So I think everyone wants to do things faster. Everyone wants to, it's like, everyone wants to do things faster. Everyone wants to eat more food and everyone wants to look more toned. I've just given you how you would do that really quickly. You would outperform, you wouldn't diet down to oblivion. So you want things faster? That's faster. You want things easier and eat more food? That's more food. You want things to look better as you train? That's the way to do it. And data is most important. So you need the accountability of behavioral change for the data because most people are oblivious to what they're doing. They literally just go, yeah, I do that. And I go, cool, give me your username on MyFitnessPal. And you look at it, they don't do that. It's like, yeah, I train to move. Give me your steps. It's like, you did 4 days in the last 10 of 10,000 steps, but you did 3,000 steps one day and 2,000 steps the other day. So your average is fucking 4,000. It's like people really overestimate what they do. And that's why transformations are so hard to come by. So this is just a general insight. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't anything special. It's literally something I look at in the first couple of days with clients. Like, right, this is your general data. This is your output. This is what we're performing. We are not dieting you down into oblivion. We don't do low calorie diets. My ideology is I'm going to get your calories so fucking high. It's unbelievable. And this is where you hear the thing is like, we need to eat more food and outperform. Eating more food will get you to get better results, but we need to outperform it and we need to get the data to be correct. We want you to be healthy, lean, strong. We want you to move into the body that you want. We don't want you to diet into it. Doesn't work. It won't work. It's too hard. Like you want transformations like 1, 2, and they're me. So fuck, don't look at me as an example. Right? 8 weeks that took. That's 80 pounds. And they're 40 pounds or so. Like their wedding transformation photos, which always look amazing, right? But look what I mean. Like look what I mean. That's not dieting down to anything. That's outperforming. And that's training at home as well, which is wild. It's not gym, it's training at home. So look, guys, hopefully that helped. It's just free education I'm trying to give it. But if you do want more information, if you want help, that is my Instagram page. You can tell me you watch the YouTube video, or you can send me the word game plan and I'll get you information. But that is pretty much it. I hope that helped a little bit more understanding. It's a very quick, generic video. There's no specificity to it. It's general, right? So it's just showing you little insights, maybe like stop fucking dieting down when your performance is really, really poor. Start focusing on performance. So to finish, and something I hadn't planned, but it just came to my head, which is a really good sentence, which is if you want to start on maintenance calories, like instead of the deficit, start at higher calories, get your performance higher first, and then start to chip away back into a lower calorie deficit. Absolutely. But what people tend to do is the opposite, which is no performance and take everything away and diet and make yourself feel low energy and miserable. That's a recipe for disaster. And I guarantee you've cooked that recipe before and it hasn't felt good. because you're still looking to lose weight. And you need to listen to people who are telling you you're doing the wrong thing, you're cooking the wrong recipes, and you may need expert help just to get you there once. Because if I show you how to do it once, you can repeat that recipe forever. All right.